Oh, hey, we're getting unwhelmed. I invite you now to just unmute and one at a time, name any emotion that comes up when we are talking about the worst game show ever.
Nervousness.
Shame.
Shame.
Self-berating.
Oh, yeah. I just have a very short list. Mine says shame, embarrassment, fear, anger, resentment, depression, anxiety, helplessness, hopelessness, isolation, overwhelm. I just can't say this enough. Once again, if you don't acknowledge these feelings, they are going to get in your way. If we don't name them and face them, they will get in your way. If you are primarily ruled by fear, you will make decisions based on fear rather than strategy. You will make decisions based on the immediate gratification of relieving that fear. This is not a fault. This is not a shame. It's just the way it is. But if we name these emotions, recognize them, then again, we can take steps to mitigate those. My strongest recommendation to mitigate those feelings is radical self-care. Please take a moment to roll your eyes, because I know that you're thinking, oh my God, she's going to tell us to eat well and eat salads and to meditate and take time for ourselves and pour yourself a glass of wine and go have a nice bath. And I'm saying, no, that's not where we are. If you've got the luxury to do all that, fine, fantastic. But radical self-care shows up in interesting ways. Of course, therapy. If you can find a therapist, if you have insurance coverage or money to cover the cost of that therapist, if you've got the time to see a therapist who's a good match, then you have found a unicorn. Hang on to that. But there are other pieces that happen. Supportive humans are incredibly important. Hang on to your girlfriends showing up for stuff like this, going for lunch. This is why we go to church. It's why we have shared experiences, languages, and understanding. And that's where we get our support. Of course, we have stress relief techniques like meditation. But meditation doesn't have to look like sitting quietly in a room and closing your eyes and chanting. You can meditate while you're walking. Singing can be meditative. Driving, just sitting at your desk. One of the ways that I meditate or feel meditative is ritual. If you do something in the same way every time, raise your hand if you make the coffee or the tea and drink it the same way every single day. When you do that, it sends a signal to your brain that this is what we're doing now. It changes your mindset. So ritual is meditative. Of course, there's exercise. My recommendation is you match your exercise to your emotion. If you're feeling sad and depressed, do something gentle with your body. But if you are pissed, then do something that matches that energy. Punch something, probably not someone, because I'm not here to give you legal advice. But go for a run. I personally only run if I'm trying to, catch a bus or stop the dog from puking on the carpet. But if you run, fine. If not, then do something else. I have a beautiful, wonderful neighbor who keeps her heavy bag in my garage, and her dedication is incredible. And every single day I'm like, I need to get out there and beat the shit out of that bag. So this is a really great way to manage societal stress when you can't do anything about it. Not that I know anything about that this week. Sorry, moving on. And of course, physical care does not have to be overwhelming. Do one thing that cares for your body every single day. Like clip your nails, but maybe not in the middle of a webinar, but or mute yourself if you're clipping your nails in the middle of a webinar. I think it qualifies as distracting. But this is where things like food come into play. And again, not overwhelming, just eat one healthy thing today, or eat one not healthy thing, but really be aware of it and be grateful that you're eating that. I personally get a lot of enjoyment out of Oreos, but only the golden thin ones. So my address is on the website. If you want to mail me those, I'll eat them. But also, you know what else falls into this category? Your sexual needs. And I'm saying it out loud. Have sex or masturbate, because the way that you feel after you do that is a different mindset, and you can manage things a lot better. Boundaries are an incredible component of radical self-care. Boundaries mean everything from my favorite feature on my iPhone and Mac is the focus feature. It turns on do not disturb, and it doesn't just set my mindset, but it shows my boundaries to other people. I personally love it when I send somebody a notification, I send an email or a text, and I get a note back that says, Lucia has notifications silenced. And I'm like, you go, Lucia, hell yes. Because when you have that notification come back to people, other people go, oh, well, she's taking care of herself. When I was really struggling with boundaries around what I was delivering in my contracts, I literally had a post-it on my computer that said, I would love to discuss working on that, but it is outside of my contract. Would you like me to focus on something within my contract, or would you like to renegotiate? And then I put a giant period at the end of that sentence because that's all I needed to say. Visual reminders are incredible. I have this, another wonderful, fantastic friend, thank you, Elise, told me that I needed to make a boundaries punch card. So this is a boundaries punch card, and every time I said no, I got to put a little stamp there. It's full, whoop, whoop. It took me 2 weeks to fill this. I took 2 weeks to say no 10 times. That should tell you that unwhelming doesn't happen right away. Systems are another incredible form of radical self-care, because when you have something systematized, you don't have to think about it, and it frees up your bandwidth. Oh, hey, we're getting unwhelmed.